Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, revolutionizing the anti-aging therapies. Today, we're going to be talking to a game changer in regenerative medicine. So let's get this show started. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Look, a business can give you everything you want in life. Prestige, wealth, freedom. It can also take everything away from you. This show is for those who are willing to take that risk. These are the real life stories of entrepreneurs. But before we start, I have one small favor to ask. Please leave a comment. It can be advice, critiques, tips, feedback, or share this with someone because your engagement is the most valuable and most powerful form of social currency. So thank you, and welcome to another episode of Business Bros. All right, business bros. Today we explore the cutting-edge innovations and advancement in healthcare. We have a true visionary in the field of regenerative medicine joining us. He's the founding president of BioProtein technology, a BioPro Plus, and he's here to share his insights into revolutionizing anti-aging therapies. With over a decade of experience working with leading physicians and practitioners, he's paved the way for non-synthetic alternatives to HGH and the peptide treatments that work faster, easier, and safer. So today we're going to dive into the science, the ethics, and potential of all these therapies. So let's welcome to the show, Mr. Dustin Baker. Hi, Dustin. Here we go, man. Thank you for coming on the program.
What an intro. I mean, that's one of the better ones that's I've ever been a part of. I appreciate that. I got a big smile on my face. If you can't see me, that was awesome. Great job.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's the whole idea, dude. I wanted you to be excited talking about what it is that you do, because then we get the best clips that way. So that's kind of a little secret of the trade there. So let's jump into the first question, man. Everybody who comes on the show is here to promote something that they are doing, something that makes the money, something that they're trying to change the world with. What is that for you?
We make BioPro Plus. BioPro Plus is a non-synthetic alternative to human growth hormone and peptide treatments.
Ooh, all right. So my background is in accounting. So you're going to have to break this down as if you're talking to a fifth grader. So
sure.
Is that specifically?
Sure. So I think it's important to take a step before to break this down and make it real simple. Growth hormone is a naturally occurring hormone in your body. It's responsible for your metabolic function, your workout performance, workout recovery, wound healing, injury healing, sexual function. Even low growth hormone can even lead to things like anxiety, depression, etc. So that growth hormone declines every single year after you finish puberty, sometimes by 50% by the age 35, which is why when you start to age, you wake up 40, 44, you start to feel those things impact you. So there's lots of drugs on the market, like prescription HGH or peptides, things of that nature that are synthetic drugs that help to offset those benefits. However, there hasn't been a non-synthetic application that offers the same benefits without all the side effects and risks that go along with those synthetic drugs until a few years ago. And that's why we created BioPro Plus. So BioPro Plus helps to offset all of those issues that come with aging, growth hormone decline, etc., without incurring any of the negative side effects, without using any of the needles. And frankly, it comes in at about a fraction of the price of the synthetic treatments.
Now that's huge. I mean, at the end of the day, I
would agree.
Poking myself all the time, and I'm always worried about the side effects of stuff that I take anyways. So having something that doesn't have those features, but is still giving me the benefit, that's a win. Now you said we start to lose some of these growth hormones after puberty, and it kind of declines over time. So who is ideal for taking this particular product?
Sure. So about 5 years ago, I would have told you that anybody over the age of 35 is typically where we would start. 35 to 55 years old is our exact audience. However, the science is now very clear that a 20-something has the same hormone level as a 67-year-old from somebody 20 years ago. So today, good, bad, or indifferent, good for business, I guess bad for society, but individuals are approaching hormone replacement, or our market, which is hormone replacement, endocrinology, hormone optimization, at a much younger age. So I would say now we work with individuals around the age of 25 and up. Typically, our perfect audience is typically 44 years old, predominantly male, sometimes female, that are looking to feel better, look better, perform better, realistically just want to see the person who they're looking at the mirror at, really.
So it's tough getting older. Like, let's just be honest. As we get older, things tend to not work the way they wanted to. They once did. We always look back at our high school days and think about how we looked in our prime. And I know for a fact, especially on the women's side, there's always trying to find a way to get rid of the wrinkles, to
Sure.
look a little bit younger, so our skin feels a little bit better. And I feel like this product kind of does that. Can you tell me a little bit about your background, how you got into working with products like this to want to bring it to the market?
Sure. Well, I get that question all the time, and my business partner said it to me best. He's like, "Well, the market really kind of chose me. It kind of sucked me in, but I was a user of our own products before I ever owned the company, and that was in about 2014. So that was 10 years ago, and I used them as what I would consider at least a wannabe competitive athlete. I ended up somehow. I've never played a professional sport, but I ended up in professional and collegiate athletics, and would use the products for athletes, etc. And then I used them in some other business ventures as well. And they worked. They worked for athletes. They worked for 40 somethings who just wanted to feel and look better. And they were safe, effective. And frankly, most of the world didn't really know about them. So I saw a business opportunity, as did the rest of my team. And we decided to acquire the company in 2018. And with the goals of taking this small regional brand company, realistically, these formulas that were being made by a lab here in Florida, and figuring out a way to get them to the rest of the world. And that's exactly what we've done. So we've had the company for about 5 years now. We're in over 40 other countries. We have clinics and physicians offering the products from here to Canada to South Africa. I mean, internationally. So it's been a lot of fun. It's had its ups and downs, but the last few years have been great, and it's been a wild ride.
I'm a bit of an athlete myself. Same thing. I never played pro or anything like that, but I'm still a little extreme. Wake up like at 4:20 in the morning. I got my weights workout. I go on a 6-mile run pretty much every day. It's ridiculous. I know. I get it. If somebody was like me and not really a pro athlete, but still kind of works out, what kind of benefits would I see? Is this like going to help me develop more lean muscle? Is this more for like cardiovascular? What does this really entail for an athlete?
Sure. And talking about, pro athletes is always fun, but realistically, they're less than 1% of our population of users, right? Our normal users are, like I said, is 35 or 34 to 54 years old. I would say active. They either want to be there's some sort of competitive athletic involved. And what I mean by that is like CrossFit or jujitsu or cycling, Ironman, something like that, where they're going to benefit the most from the use of the product. Most guys, without fail, the same report we get back all the time is 10 to 14 days. They typically feel a huge boost of energy. If they're suffering from some sort of sexual dysfunction, those things could typically happen within 48 to 72 hours. They'll start to see and feel physical benefits. When you're talking about metabolic function, a minimum time to change body composition or fat loss is 4 to 6 weeks. And then with blood panels, we typically recommend blood panels if you are going to do them every 30 days, but we have physicians that will do blood panels the same day of using the product and show increases of growth factor, which is how you measure, the efficacy of our product. So,
and I know we're talking about athletes here, but there are a lot of people who aren't really super athletic, but they want to make sure they maintain as well, right? So is this product a good fit for somebody who's maybe not on the athletic side, but kind of wants to keep themselves in check? Compared to like a multivitamin or something like that?
Yeah, this isn't really a multivitamin. But yes. If you're interested in boosting your energy levels and feeling better and looking better, then the product can potentially be for you. I'm not going to say that this product is for every human being, because physiologically human beings are different. And the people that, do the best with the product are physiologically different than those who might not get as much benefit out of it. The way that it works is, I think this is important to understand, is growth hormone, which is what we've kind of talked about in the market that we play in. Growth hormone is naturally secreted by the pituitary gland in your brain. It's then sent to your liver, where your liver converts it into what are called growth factors. Growth factors are really cool. They're called protein cytokines. They're simply cell signals, and they trigger different functions in the body to activate. So whether that's the skin cells in your face, collagen cells, whether it's the cells in your muscles to actually multiply and differentiate to make bigger muscles, whether it's the actual cellular trigger to create higher oxygen potency within your blood, it's a growth factor to do that. So depending upon what benefit you're looking for, then there's potentially, we have 13 different growth factors within the raw material that we're extracting from for the formula. Those types of things you can benefit from. So realistically, we like to think of like, what are you suffering from? Where would you like to see the biggest increases in, whether that's energy, sexual function, metabolic function, or even workout performance, and then apply the product there. Is it for everybody? No, I don't believe that any product exists that's for everyone, but for the people that it is for, it's been a life changer. It's been a game changer for them.
So you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying there's like different variations of the product that you can get, almost like, I don't know, you go on a Skittles bag and there's different colors, each of them a different flavor, do a different thing.
That's not a terrible analogy. Is you get one bag and you get, 7 different flavors, 7 colors of the rainbow, whatever it is. Maybe it's 8. I think it's 8. So yes, that's actually not a terrible analogy. So different growth factors, remember they're cellular signals, do different things. IGF-1, which is the most popular growth factors that people are going to look up or talk about, is responsible for a lot of fun stuff, right? Metabolic function, blood sugar utilization. So that's how your body uses insulin and blood sugar and food. So metabolic function, muscle cells, fertility, sexual function. But then you have other growth factors like FGF, which is fibroblast growth factor or epidermal growth factor. Those growth factors are directly related to collagen cell production in your skin. So the reason why your skin starts to sag is your body's cells are dying off faster than they are being triggered by a growth factor to replicate and multiply. So when you add those growth factors back, those cellular signals back into your bloodstream, you will then trigger the cellular response you're looking for. So like I said, there's 13 different growth factors in the raw materials that we're using. Fibroblast growth factor for skin, epidermal growth factor for skin, VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor, which is for oxygen potency in your blood, so cardiac function, the VO2 max, stuff like that. IGF-1 for muscle tissue repair, all that kind of fun stuff. And then what did I say? 3? There's 10 others.
Yeah, I mean, and that's cool because there's a difference. But there's also a learning curve that kind of goes along with this. You've been in this field for quite some time now, and that the supplement market is huge. There's so many different things that people can take to work on different things. What do you think that the consumer should be cautious about or ask questions about that they normally don't ask or don't even know to ask when comparing different supplements?
So yeah, we play in a gray area. Technically, we start to fall into the FDA would classify us as a supplement because we are a non-synthetic application. We don't use or create synthetic drugs or non-natural forms of amino acids like a peptide was, but we don't really actually play in the same space as like a protein powder. So I guess when you're starting to look at what a consumer should pay attention to, I think less of a product focus and more of a focus on what you're trying to achieve. I think a lot of people buy things these days just because it's promoted by an influencer, or they think they've heard about it somewhere, or they read a magazine article and it's going to fix everything that they think that they want, because of course it's messaging and it's marketing. They're going to tell you, it does X, Y, and Z. But I think hyper focusing first and foremost on what your specific goals are, and then putting a plan in place to measure those goals will do a few things. 1, it's going to tell you if the product is actually working or not. 2, if it's not, you're going to be able to stop taking that product and save yourself some money instead of continuing to buy it. Whether that's our product or something else, you want to put in some sort of metric, some sort of quantifiable plan in place to measure the efficacy of what you're taking. So you can try different things because different things are used for different people and different goals. But to pinpoint what your goal is and then apply a product, said to help fix those things, and actually putting in a quantifiable metric of knowing if it's working or not will probably save you a lot of time and money in the long run.
At the end of the day, if it can be measured, it can be improved, right? And that's kind of the idea there. As long as you have a metric in place, whether you're getting close to achieving that metric 100%. Or not, right? So 100%. It totally makes sense. And there are a number of different ways that you can go about with different regimens and different diets. And I know that if we're trying to talk about being healthy, obviously there are some things that we want to do, like drink more water and get some exercise in. But when it comes to taking your product, is there a specific way or a best practice to get the best results?
Absolutely. So we individually dose every single day. They come in little vials. They're less than 1 milliliter worth of liquid with the actual raw materials within them. And so it comes pre-dosed. You take 1 vial a day. You hold it under your tongue for 90 seconds. You swallow whatever's left. We're doing that to help you bypass the gut and the digestive system and go directly into your bloodstream. So what we do is we use a very specific ingredient to express the blood vessels in your mucosal lining, meaning inside of your mouth. And we want to absorb those raw materials directly into your bloodstream to do the exact prior, what I just said is to go around basically the digestive tract to get these directly into your system. So that way you can directly benefit from them and quickly. So it's an every morning type deal. You hold it under your tongue for 90 seconds, you swallow whatever's left, you throw the vial away, you're done. So we break it into 4-week segments. Each kit is 4 weeks. And then you continue on after you finish your 4 weeks, depending upon what you're taking the product for.
Now, obviously, this is going to be a subscription basis, something you want to take over and over again, obviously over time. What can a customer expect if they go to, for example, if they go to your website, which is scrolling across the bottom, ladies and gentlemen, sure. BioProteinTech.com. So if they go to your website and they're interested in getting this product, what can they expect?
So, you don't have to take it for subscription. There are plenty of people that might take it for a few months because they're preparing for something, or they're trying to, let's just say, cycle off other, pharmaceuticals or drugs that they're on. And then we have a lot of people that take it for a long, long time. I mean, years. When you go to the website, you have a few options. I mean, you can buy just one, try it out. Typically, if you're going to try the product, we always recommend 90 days. But if you take 1 month and you're not really feeling it, it's probably not going to work for you or give you the best bang for your buck. Most people are, like I said, 10 to 12 days in, they're like, okay, this is something I can get behind. And then they're lifers. So you have the option of doing once, trying just 4 weeks, seeing if it's for you, seeing if you can stick with it. That's great. You also have the option of, I'm going to use the term signing up, but it's really not a sign up. You have the option of purchasing 4 months for the cost of 3, because we do believe that consistency is always going to benefit you in the long haul. And starting off with at least 3 months, we're going to give you an extra 4th month for free. Knock yourself out. That's a deal we just run all the time. A lot of people actually take advantage of that. And you do have the option to subscribe to the product. You get it shipped every month, and you never have to really worry about it. It's kind of set it and forget it.
I love that, because automatic is the way to go. I was literally talking to somebody today about retirement savings, and I was like, you need to use Acorns. Like, it's really quick and easy. You set it up one time, and you don't have to think about it. And that's what I love about the subscriptions that show up to your door. Once it's part of your routine, 90 100%. Seconds under your tongue, you're done. You're set. You're ready to rock your day. And like you said, 10 to 12 days in, you're going to have a lot more energy. You're not going to want to give it up if that's the case, because otherwise you're going to go back to being a normal person. That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. So I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. So let me ask you about your background. You said that, your team ended up liking the product after you've been using it for a while, and you decided to go in and buy the company. Walk me through that, dude. What were you doing so that you were in a position to say, all right, this is something I like, I can get behind this. Let me just go and buy this company.
Well, I think people, it's not really as hard as you might think. I help or advise different people on doing similar things that may or may not be in a position to acquire a company. I actually think it's easier than most. Like I said, I think it's a lot easier than most people think. But I think that I know God gives everybody opportunities, and they present themselves all the time to every single individual. And the difference between some individuals and others are people who are able to identify those opportunities and execute on them, and those people that do not, and let that water kind of flow under the bridge. I am not the second part of that group. I am the prior. And when I see an opportunity, I want to take advantage of it. I was in the process of leaving a venture I was in what I would call the professional sports and collegiate sports space that I no longer wanted to participate in. And in my years of business ventures, I had acquired a group of mentors and or individuals who were interested in investing in different projects that I was a part of. And I was looking for my next thing. And I was already using these formulas. I was purchasing them. I was providing them to different, people, whether it be athletes or whoever. And I just thought, there was an opportunity there. So all I did was kind of find somebody on the inside, kind of listen around to what the mood of the company was and the people that were in charge and what their future was. And they didn't really have any, and they were actually going through a bit of a turmoil. And businesses are only really acquired in two scenarios. One, it is on a downslope. It needs rehab. It needs someone to come in and clean things up to improve systems, right? It's on a downslope. Or two, it's wildly successful and a VC comes in, a venture capitalist comes in, or an investment group, and overpays for it because they know they can dump, $100 million into it and then really blow it up beyond the existing owner's cash situation. It was not the second. This was an acquisition of the first kind, of seeing an opportunity. There was great products. It was being a misrun company, and I thought we could do it better. And that's exactly what we have done. And we entered in with a very specific plan and some cash, and we had a deal inked, done, written up in 3 weeks, and boom, we're out the door.
Now, execution is always the hardest part of any plan. Plans are always there to guide you, but as most entrepreneurs know, nothing ever goes to plan, but you still move towards that vision. So what is the vision of your company? You've acquired it. You had a goal in mind. You're heading towards that goal. Where are you today? Where do you see yourself going?
That is a loaded question because things change all the time. We want to continue on our existing trajectory. Right now, I'll be honest with you, we've been limited in a sense that we are not allowed to, because of different rules, whether that's we're not allowed to advertise as normal companies can advertise. We're not allowed to advertise via the social media platforms. We're not allowed to advertise on Google because, again, we're not a protein powder. We're not allowed to do a lot of things that a lot of companies are able to do to what I'm about to say next, which is scale. So our company has grown exponentially, I might add, by word of mouth, by our clinical division, because we sell to physicians all over the world. So that really helps credibility. And we have done so, and we've really built a very strong tribe of users, patients. Our social media following is incredibly strong. We have athletes from all over the world that represent our products for free. To be honest with you, we don't pay them. They love the products and they do it for free. So in a lot of ways, we've been very lucky, but we're lucky because we have a great product and we do what we say we're going to do and what we truly believe what we believe in. And so we've been able to grow like that. So what we're working on this year, and our entire goal this year is actually an upgrade to our infrastructure. We are going to be redesigning the entire website, all of our platforms, so they're much more streamlined, much more easier and user-friendly. And we will continue to figure out advertising avenues that have since been difficult for us. But like I said, where there's opportunities and there's a will, there's a way. And that's our goals for this year. What I can tell you for growth of the company or exiting or any of those things, that's kind of to be determined. But I will tell you that those talks are in the works, not in the works, excuse me. I don't want to say that. Those talks are within the internals of the team, are always something that comes up because there's, really good exits for companies like ours. And it's something that we do consider and talk about. But at this point, we, would like to remain private and continue to build this company to, and this is probably a 5 to 10 year plan, but to a 9-figure evaluation and go from there.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, there's a lot of restrictions when it comes to running ads, but I think
Sure.
you're already rocking it pretty well. I mean, there's no restrictions on hopping on different podcasts and spreading what you're doing. There's
Exactly correct.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
going to different physicians and saying, "Hey, this is what we got. Check it out," and looking for the results themselves, or using the testimonials of the people who are actually using the product. Those are all
100%.
wins when it comes to your business model. So. Lastly, I mean, you've done so much already. You've helped so many different people. What do you think drives people to come to your product that maybe they hadn't tried any supplement like this before? Maybe they haven't tried anything that's a little bit different. Why come do this compared to everything else?
Well, most other stuff doesn't actually work. So, or it doesn't have enough impact. And I don't take a bunch of supplements. I don't take a bunch of things. I have access to a lot of stuff especially in our field that I could utilize, and I don't. But I take my product every single day. I really believe in it. I wouldn't have put my money where my mouth is if I didn't years ago. And I think that speaks volumes about it. Most guys come to our product because they're fed up. They're fed up. And I know the exact story all at the same time, because it's what honestly kind of drove me through a lot of this business and through earlier business ventures. I mean, I'm not 44 years old, but I use that number because it's so specific. But, I had in my previous career, I've worked with quite a few men who it's exactly the same story. They wake up, they're 44 years old. They've spent their life building their business, building their families, building their marriages, whether they work out or they don't. And they wake up one day, they look in the mirror, and they're not the guy that they thought that they saw. They're not the guy that they looked back in the mirror when they were 25 or 30 years old, grinding and killing it. And it comes at you quick. And, protein and creatine ain't going to do it for you. Okay. And not that they're not bad. Creatine's the most studied probably supplement on the market. Creatine works great. That's not what I'm talking about. But, it ain't going to do what they're trying to look to do. And, some guys aren't ready to take the step in the needle direction because those are dependent drugs. I mean, you just, once you drop on some of those things, you can't really come off. And we are a great alternative and a great option for those guys who, want to maybe dip their toe in the water or start to feel and look better, right? Without incurring a lot of the side effects. I'm not saying that medical intervention of a synthetic drug is not necessary when deemed medically necessary. I'm not, because they have their medical applications. But my personal belief in the company that I own and the company that I operate on a day-to-day basis, I'm not that guy ready to take the needle. I don't want to subscribe to those things. And I find that I get the exact same benefits from what we do and what we create that I could with that. And my blood panels would agree.
Yeah. And that's it. That at the end of the day, I think people can really sense the passion that you have behind it. I think that's probably one of the main reasons why it's taken off so much. People understand that. And then of course the product just sells itself. You try it and you like it. It works. You talk about it. There goes your referrals base. It works amazing. So if people want to find out more about it, I know we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but maybe they want to see an example. Maybe they want to buy the product themselves. How can they do that?
I always tell people to go to the social media pages, like go to the Instagram, because it's not, I hate gimmicky salesy stuff. Okay. And that's exactly like, I can't stand that stuff. So go to the Instagram, you'll see real people who actually take the product, real, whether it's be younger guys, older guys, etc. The audience and our tribe, our group is very vocal, and you can ask questions. You can see exactly what we do. I mean, we're very transparent. You can see exactly who we are and what we do. If you want to go buy it, awesome, great, go buy it. Go to the website, go to bioproteintech.com. You can place an order right there, or you can go to, we have clinics literally, I think you're US based. We have clinics all over the United States. We have national health chains that provide our products to patients every single day in very large numbers. There's no shortage of clinics in every major city, probably. I'm sure that there are some cities that we don't have clinics, but you got a question, you want to find one, shoot a DM to the Instagram. Somebody in there will answer you, and they'll, shoot us your zip code. We'll send you to a doc if that's what you want to go, or you just go to the website.
Boom. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Social on Instagram is at BioProtein in Protein Tech. And the website is bioproteintech.com. Feel free to jump on that. By the way, George says he's sold, right? He's going to go ahead and try it out. So thanks, George. Make sure you guys check it out. Let me know what you think. And Dustin, thank you very much for being on the program today. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, getting old doesn't have to be so difficult if you treat your body correctly, take care of yourself, drink a lot of water, work out, and then if you need, there's also different programs out there that can help you out, just like BioProtein does here. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check that out. Dustin, thank you very much for being on the program. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace, and we're out.
It's over. Go home. Is your business in need of marketing? Try starting a podcast. But not just any podcast. Podcast like a pro. We can show you how to take your business from being invisible to becoming a brand people trust. Go to www.businessbros.biz